Best wishes to you. Welcome to a story of suspense, patience, and self-worth. It began with a feeling he couldn't quite shake, the hollow emptiness of being excluded, unappreciated, invisible in a world that should have celebrated him. He had watched quietly as invitations flew past his name, watched as others were praised while his presence was ignored. But on this day, he chose himself. He decided that for once, he would reward himself, not for approval, not for recognition, but simply because he deserved it. He booked a flight, bypassing the chaos of family drama, and landed on the sun-kissed shores of a tropical paradise where turquoise waters whispered secrets and palms swayed like silent sentinels guarding his peace. The first morning there, he awoke to the smell of salt and the distant laughter of tourists, a gentle breeze brushing against his skin. He sat on the balcony of his villa, a cocktail in hand, the world reduced to the rhythm of waves and the serene hum of his own thoughts. This was his moment, his reclaiming of dignity, a small rebellion against the life that had so often overlooked him. Yet, as the sun climbed higher, his phone buzzed relentlessly, a persistent echo of a world he had left behind. The first message was short, almost incoherent, a frantic text from his sister. "It's chaos. Everything is falling apart. You should see this." Curiosity sparked, but he resisted. He refused to dive back into the storm. He sipped his drink slowly, letting the sweetness coat his tongue while the tension in his chest began to unravel. But the messages kept coming. The next one was from his mother, her tone panicked. "Your father doesn't know what to do. The wedding, it's ruined. Everyone is blaming each other. Where are you? We need you." A thrill of suspense twisted inside him. He could feel it. Something monumental had erupted back home, a storm that had been brewing, and now, in his absence, was spilling over violently. He thought of turning back, of rushing to intervene, but the rational part of him, the part that had long been pushed aside, belittled, disregarded, whispered, "Watch. Let it unfold." The next wave of messages painted a picture so chaotic it almost seemed unreal. Friends and relatives sent screenshots of arguments, furious confrontations, shattered plans, and broken hearts. The wedding hall had descended into madness, decorations destroyed in fits of rage, caterers quitting mid-service, bridesmaids storming out with accusations flying like arrows. Everyone who had sought to control, manipulate, or demand his attention had now lost all semblance of composure. And all of this happened while he lounged in paradise, untouched, observing only through the cold, precise lens of his phone. He leaned back, a slow smile forming, not of cruelty but of understanding, of karmic justice. Every slight, every word of dismissal, every act that had cast him aside, was unraveling spectacularly, and he had done nothing but wait. This was the power of patience, the quiet satisfaction of valuing oneself above the chaos others create. Then came the most suspenseful text yet. It was a video link from a cousin who had been a silent observer. The camera, set up to record the ceremony, captured everything. The collapse of the wedding, the confrontations, the tears, the accusations. But the most shocking moment was captured at the climax. His family, in their frantic attempts to salvage honor and dignity, accidentally exposed secrets, lies, and betrayals that had been buried under polite facades for years. The revelation hit with the precision of a scalpel. Everything they had tried to hide in their panic became a spectacle. He felt no glee, only an odd, serene satisfaction. He hadn't orchestrated this. He hadn't manipulated events. He had simply chosen himself, chosen calm, chosen distance. And in doing so, he became untouchable, a silent observer of a storm that had once threatened to drown him in invisibility. Hours turned into a full day of watching, of receiving message after message, each one revealing a new layer of disaster. His mother's frantic attempts to fix everything were met with resistance from his father, whose own secrets were now laid bare. Siblings bickered over imagined slights, cousins debated blame with a ferocity that bordered on mania, and friends who had sided with one party over another now scrambled for neutrality. Through it all, he remained seated on his balcony, the waves outside punctuating each revelation, the sun casting golden light that made the chaos on the screen almost cinematic. By nightfall, the wedding hall had been abandoned, a ghostly shell of what was supposed to be the most joyful day of the year. Messages slowed, replaced by phone calls that went unanswered, emails that went unopened. And he remained there, calm, untouched, a quiet island amid the devastation. But the story did not end there. Suspense built even higher when he received one final message, a text simply reading, "We underestimated you. You weren't here, and yet, somehow, you hold all the power." It was from his sister, who had once mocked him for being passive, for refusing to conform. Now she understood his patience. His choice to prioritize self-worth over immediate reaction had turned the entire situation on its head. They had lost control, and in their collapse, he had gained an undeniable strength. He put down his phone, letting the tropical night envelop him. Stars glittered above, the waves whispered their eternal rhythm, and he realized something profound. The world had tried to teach him his place, to punish him for valuing himself, to deny him recognition and appreciation. And yet, in his absence, the world revealed its own fragility, its dependence on his presence, and the ultimate lesson became clear. One does not need to fight chaos with chaos. One simply needs to remain steadfast, patient, and true to oneself. He had chosen joy over indignation, calm over reaction, distance over interference. And in that choice, the storm's fury had become a mirror reflecting the consequences of neglect, of hubris, of entitlement. His family would remember this day not as the wedding they imagined, but as the day the excluded won him, showed them the power of self-worth and the weight of patience. As he sipped his final drink under the moonlight, a profound peace settled over him. He was free. Free from expectation, free from obligation, free from the petty judgments that had once defined his existence. And in that freedom, the ultimate suspense remained. Would his family ever truly learn from this? Or would they remain trapped in the cycle of chaos that his absence had illuminated? Perhaps that was the final lesson, the lingering tension in the story. The true power lies not in reaction, but in deliberate restraint, and the ultimate justice is served not through vengeance, but through unwavering self-respect. And so, he watched the waves, listened to the wind, and let the night carry the story of a man who chose himself. A story of patience that became suspense, and of chaos that became karmic justice. The wedding was ruined, the family humbled, and he victorious in a way words could scarcely capture.